So we got my truck up in the air. It's Christmas Day. We got down here and started tearing everything apart, getting ready for the diesel to go in. Just kind of took drive shafts out and all the tires off and just kind of got it ready, drained all the fluids, get the T-case and trans and engine and everything hopefully out tomorrow, and then the next day we can start fitting the 6.5 in there, which is going to be kind of a pain. We've got a Hydro Boost conversion and just a few other little things like wiring and everything to get the 93 to bolt up into a direct fit to the 97, just because wiring and stuff has changed. So that could be a little troublesome, but hopefully she goes well. So the engine's about to come out, and then we've got fuel lines and all of my computer stuff and everything else to take out, and then we got to fit the new radiator in and all the Hydro Boost stuff because we're getting rid of the vacuum powered brake booster. So we're putting a new Hydro Boost, which is hydraulic brake pressure, in there, and then a new master cylinder, and the diesel's gonna go in there out of a 93.65. Just got the GM3 turbo on it for right now, but I'm gonna upgrade that to a whole set HX35. Hopefully someday actually run twins on this thing, just because that would be kind of cool. Really it's bone stock, besides the wastegate on the turbo is closed completely. So yeah, we just got a bunch of little things to do before we slap the engine in there. The main thing though is wiring harness, because I'm going from a computered fuel injected system to a fully mechanical, so it could be kind of fun. We're going to use my stock MP241 transfer case and my front drive shaft, because the splines are the same, onto, right here's my New Venture Gear NV3500, and then I'm going to put an NV4500 in there instead, just because that's what's supposed to back a higher output engine like a 6.5, because my 4.3, I mean, you can run this behind a 350 also. The earlier years usually ran 4500, but the later years ran 35. Really, I don't think that a 6.5 would ever tear this up too bad, but you never know. I've already got a 45 at my disposal, so I'll just put the 4500 in there. Crossover, eventually I was thinking about doing the upgraded crossover, but if I want to do a twin turbo setup, I'm going to have to flip the manifold around anyway and eliminate the crossover, so that would kind of be a waste of $100, you know. So that's my trans and transfer case setup. It's a little bit heavier duty clutch with the NV4500 also. And I got a 10-foot section of 4-inch exhaust pipe here. So I'm going to run that off the 3-inch downpipe back. And then just going to dump it over the axle with this. So basically this will go kind of like that and just dump over the axle. I might put a little bit bigger tip on it or something. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. Kind of just got to get everything buttoned up. A few little things we got to do to the engine still. like I just put brand new glow plugs in it. You can see right here. I just put 5 of them are AC Delco and 3 are Bosch, I think. So, or maybe it's the other way around. Anyway, so yeah, I just gotta run new glow plug wires, and then I'm gonna set that up to a momentary switch. So I got the switch over here in a box somewhere. Yeah, I got a LED momentary switch, and I got LED pods for reverse lights, and I got a third brake light in here somewhere. Anyway, so yeah, we just kind of are getting everything in place, so I don't have to run this 205. Actually, this might be a 241 transfer case. But anyway, so out with the 3500, in with the 45, and the 241 behind that, and the 6.5 in front of that. Swap's going down. We got it back on the ground, got a new fuel tank going in, and all the fuel lines, and it's just going to be one long week. So hopefully, I'm putting a 4-inch lift on it, so hopefully my drive shaft will still fit, but there's no guarantees. So I might have to do something custom on my drive shaft, which could be pricey. So this is the one I pulled out of it. I mean, U-joints are all good on it, and there's nothing really wrong with it. So I don't really want to have to cut it up or anything, but you can't really cut aluminum drive shafts anyway. So, but yeah, that's just kind of what's going down. 4.3s on the cherry picker. It's ready to come out, so gonna get back to that. Got the stock intake all hooked up to the Cannon air filter. Checked everything. Hydro Boost is now in. They're sorting out wiring a little bit. Got the glow plugs all wired up, so everything looks good there. I'm trying to eliminate anything we don't need and keep all the stuff we do. And we're going to tie some of that into the stock harness. So that's all cool. We got the other motor mounts in. They were slightly different than the V6 mounts. The V6 mounts didn't bolt up right here. They were actually set back. This bolt would have been back there, and then they had a different they extended out to like right there, so we had to change that. Cleaned up the engine bay a little bit, got rid of all the ABS stuff here, put some brake line stuff in. Now we just got to run fuel lines and get all this situated. Got the 45 set in here, 4500, and then the transfer case, dual batteries, power steering cooler. This is a adapter for the oil filter. Crossover for the exhaust. Fuel tank, we gotta get the diesel filler neck. This is the right sending unit though. Got some fluids here. It's actually diesel.
Everything should be there for that.
We got it in an old can. And then really we might be able to get this engine set in tonight, which would be cool. Just tying up a few things here, getting it all ready. The pan wasn't looking too bad, so we just kind of scraped it up and threw a little paint on it. Starter worked fine, so we're just gonna reuse that.
Alright, so that's
Got some heat sleeves on the wires going to the glow plugs on this side. We got these brackets painted up and everything, so yeah, all the glow plugs have new wires and connectors going to them because the old ones. Oh, that's the wrong thing. The old ones came off and went somewhere. I have no idea where they went. Anyway,
everything else that I've looked up.
so we had excess brake lines laying around and stuff, so we put some together and we had to go buy some, and just a bunch of fun stuff. So my dad and my uncle are working like crazy on that, and so yeah, we're getting around there.
I just don't know what this runs because it comes off the oil pressure. This is like
Yeah,
a
you
low
can see.
oil pressure fuel interrupter, something.
So yeah, pretty much we just got a new power steering pump's got to go in. Like I said, we already got the Hydro Boost system in. So should be pretty cool. So we just punched that seal out of the 241 transfer case input. I guess the input shaft seal. So we just punched that out. Gotta punch a new one in, but first I'm gonna clean all this silicone off and prep it a little bit, and then we'll punch the seal in, re-silicone, or yeah, use some RTV silicone on this, and should be good.
Maybe brand, I was asking if we could get it.
Got a nice exhaust flaring tool here, so you hook this up to the air impact, and it'll expand the pipe. So I got 10-foot section of 4-inch, and we're gonna dump that over the axle, but it's got to go to my downpipe, which is only a 3-inch. So we gotta get an adapter and then bring it up a third.
I don't think we ought to. I think we ought to try to go too far, we're gonna be loose.
Taking off for the first ride.
Alright, so I'm headed back up to Michigan. We were down in Ohio to do the engine swap, and everything went well. The truck runs beautiful. The only thing we have to worry about now, which isn't a horrible deal, is the fuel gauge, the speedo, which I had working earlier. I just need to make sure that I get power to it, because I took out a fuel injected engine which had a computer and put in a mechanical, so the computer really isn't needed except to run a few things just like the instrument cluster. So I guess I just need to make sure I'm getting power to that, and that should work again. Fuel gauge, we're going to look up some diagrams and schematics and stuff and see if we can get that to work. And the tach, hopefully I can tie that into the alternator just to see, but I'm not sure. But yeah, everything else works good. The heat and everything, that wasn't messed up, because that's all completely separate from everything. So yeah, I mean, we're just rolling back. Truck rolls good, runs beautiful. Like I said, the exhaust with that 4-inch pipe sounds really good. I got a video of that I'll add in to show everyone. My boost gauge is hooked up and works pretty good. These 6.5s top out at 11 psi. With stock GM 3 turbos, which is a Borg Warner setup. So yeah, I mean, I'm really happy. I gotta give a big thanks to my dad and uncle. There was no way that I could get this done by myself, and they took their whole Christmas break off to help me do this. I just gotta thank them. I'm kind of speechless about that. So big thanks to them, my grandpa and grandma, for letting me stay at their house and use their barn to do all this, all the tools and heat. Good food. They provided us food. We never had to buy any, so I mean, I just love them a lot. Big thanks to my whole family, really. So yeah, I don't have the probe in to run the temperature gauge. I gotta put that in somewhere on the downpipe, but the boost gauge is so simple to hook up, it's not even funny. You just got to run a power wire, a 12-volt constant. Your power wire is going to go to a switch. I just have it running my running lights right now. So as soon as I turn my running lights on, they'll be on, and my lights also. And then you have to run a negative, which is your black wire. And on these GMT 400s, it's right behind the dash, right down here. So yeah, I'm so happy this got done. I had 4.3 in this before, and it just wasn't cutting it. Believe it or not, I know everybody gives a bad reputation to the 6.5, but I'm not gonna lie, that 6.5 runs beautiful compared to that 4.3. Don't get me wrong, the 4.3 was a very reliable truck. I never had anything significantly wrong with it besides one bulletin that the dealer had in all the Vortec 350s and 4.3s. I think 305s might have had it too, which is the intake manifold gaskets leaking, so you get coolant in the oil. But so yeah, you'll notice that your truck will start to like overheat, and so we replaced those, put a new water pump in it. I mean, the truck, I was putting parts in this thing, you know, thinking I was gonna have it for a long time, but I got my uncle bought a crew cab with that red crew cab with the 6.5 in it, in an MV 4500 trans, and I just couldn't turn it down. So he got another power plant for that. Now I got this engine for a screaming deal. So I'm just very happy it all worked out. So yeah, we're in like Perrysburg, Ohio, on our way getting back on 23, going up to Michigan. That's a cool cathedral, I think. I don't know. It's cool. This is a really cool ramp. It goes over. You can see Perrysburg up over there. I think that's Perrysburg. But anyway, yeah, big ramp. Looking out, some guys riding my butt like crazy. Oh well. But yeah, I'm just following my dad now because I don't have a speedometer, so I'd probably be running, 80, 90 miles an hour if this thing will even make it to 90, being that it's such a dog. So yeah, I just wanted to do a little wrap up. Basically, if you ever think about doing a swap to a mechanical system from a computerized, make sure that you've got all your ducks in a row, because we ran into a few problems that we just weren't thinking about. Getting power to your things into your old harness is kind of our biggest deal. The truck just wouldn't fire and wouldn't fire and wouldn't fire. And you're not supposed to spray diesels with starting fluid because it's terrible for the engines. You can actually bend rods and stuff like that. So we had sprayed it, once or twice, but we just didn't overdo anything. We just did a little squirt. So anyway, we had on the DB2 injection pump, there's a solenoid inside the cover. If you lift off the cover of the injection pump, there's 3 bolts. You just pull those out, lift it off, and the solenoid wasn't getting power, so we had to redo our wires to that. And as soon as it got power, as soon as the injectors had fuel in them, it fired right up. So, which is weird because we had drained the fuel tank to put a new fuel tank in. So you're supposed to prime diesels when they don't have any fuel in them. We didn't have to prime it. We technically we did, because we had the lift pump running. We did a bunch of cycles on the lift pump, and then we opened up the fuel filter. We unscrewed the top of that, had a rag around it so it didn't squirt fuel all over. Forewarning, if you want to bleed the fuel system, just let the lift pump run for a while. We've got our lift pump powered by the ignition, so as soon as I turn the key on, my injection pump my lift pump starts working. So anyway, you just cycle that, and then go up, and there's a T-handle on the front of the engine by one of the power steering hoses, or a coolant hose, and you undo that, and it'll bleed out some air, and you can undo the top of the filter, the fuel filter, to bleed it out. So yeah, we ran into a bunch of little things that were an issue. Nothing that couldn't be overcome. Besides, we spent probably maybe not 4 hours. We spent a long time this morning though looking at trying to get that stupid fuel gauge working, and it just wasn't happening. So we're gonna look at some schematics and stuff and see what we need, and I'll probably make a conclusion video on that, maybe separate from this. I'm gonna compile all the footage together, but anyways, I'm dragging this on way too long. Big thanks to my family for everything they've done throughout this. I guess that's all. If you like this video, give it a like, rate, comment, subscribe.